I've had my own struggles, mental health struggles. I've had attempts, and I just think it's powerful to see someone that truly cares. They don't have to know you, but they want you to know that you're loved. And I mean, obviously, I know what it's like to lose someone to suicide, and I don't want anyone to have to go through that. I don't want parents to have to go through that.
Aloha, welcome to Hawaii News Now. My name is Megan Ramones, and joining me today is Chad Starr. He's a mental health advocate. And Chad, you have a walk coming up to raise awareness for youth suicide awareness. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so on May 3rd, I will start another walk around the island. This is something that I do every year now to honor, my daughter Sienna that I lost in 2019 to suicide, and also just honoring, other people that we've lost, and just giving people a chance to come out and talk story with me, and just try to give people hope and show them that there's people that truly care about them.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Sienna.
Sienna was just such a great child, just always laughing, super talented. She was a gymnast, very artistic, always drawing, and just just she was just uh,
It's
an
okay.
amazing child. Um, just always wanted to help people in need. Um, she really seemed to not have a care in the world. I mean, she's just living day to day and enjoying life. And she was a great big sister to my youngest daughter, a great little sister to my oldest son, a great friend to everyone. And like I said, she just wanted everyone to get along, and she tried to be that for people. She tried to bring people together and just brighten everyone's day.
Yeah, she sounds like an amazing
Definitely,
kid. I wish I
definitely.
got to meet her. Um, if you don't mind me asking, or if you don't mind sharing, did you notice any signs of Sienna going through anything before the accident or the incident happened?
Um, no, I mean nothing that really stood out. I mean, her mother and I were both. I mean, we worked quite a bit, and I mean, life seemed pretty normal. There, thinking back on it, there was one time that I had went outside into the garage, and she was just sitting there listening to music, and you know, that's really the only thing. Looking back on it, I think maybe she was a little bit down, but I just wanted to give her space. I didn't, I wasn't. She, I'm sure she was out there for a reason, but that was it. There was nothing. That morning, she had made a TikTok video with her little sister. She was shoving her into the pool. So they were laughing, and even at dinner that night, they were both laughing with each other. We all were. So, and that was maybe just an hour before it happened. So definitely nothing that stood out, nothing leading up to that. So, that's it's kind of the scary part of it is, not everyone shows signs of depression, or some people are really good at hiding it. So, yeah, just we didn't see anything.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people kind of go through that same scenario too, where it's we see people laughing and smiling, kind of like on Instagram, we see the highlights of people's life, and little do we know what they're going through internally until maybe they reach out for help or we ask them, hey, how are you doing? Um, so you're definitely not alone in that. And I've had my fair share of where my friend didn't know, or I didn't know they were going through something, but they were the strongest person. They
Right.
were the strongest
Mhm.
I knew. Um, So those moments are definitely eye opening. Um, if Sienna, if you could go back in time,
Mhm.
what would you tell Sienna? Okay.
I felt I did a pretty good job of letting them know that, they could talk about things, because I've always been very open with my feelings and emotions, and I shared that with them, and I oftentimes I would just sit down with them and have talks with them, and tell them, it doesn't, I love you for you, and no matter what, no matter what you're going through, or what happens, I'll always love you. And I always told them, or told her, you don't have to hide anything from me. I won't judge you. We'll get through whatever it is. We'll get through it together. Um, so, I mean, obviously, I've thought about this. I've wanted to, or I've thought about the what ifs, and those are always the hardest, to live with, and I have to live with that forever. And I think I would just go back, and I would have daily check-ins for sure. Life gets in the way sometimes, but it doesn't have to. I think, or I know that we need to prioritize, mental health in general, especially with our children, with everything they're going through. So I would have daily check-ins in the mornings and in the evenings before bed. Just tell her, it's what you're feeling is just temporary. It does get better. As a child, these aren't the best moments of your life. I mean, it gets better. You start to have more freedom, and get to make your own choices. And, you don't always have to deal with bullies at school, if that's what she was dealing with. And I think I'd just tell her that it gets better. And, you know, j- just let her know that you just have to work at it, and I'm here for you. I, again, kind of like what I said, I wish I would have told her that more. Um, and, and that I love her, and I'm proud of her. Like I said, it's hard for me because I said all of these things, but I just wish I would have said them more often, um, and just made that more of a priority.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was very powerful. And you mentioned earlier that you have another daughter.
Hmm.
How many kids total?
I have three total. So I have
Three.
Chance, he's 18,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have Isabella, she's 11.
11. So it's them two right now.
Hmm. Yes.
So Chad and Isabella.
Chance. Yes.
Chance.
No.
Chance and Isabella.
Yeah.
Chance is a great name.
Yeah.
Um, so you turned your pain into purpose, the way I
Mhm.
see it. Not only do you have this walk coming up, but how do you use what you've learned through the experience with Chance and Isabella now that you've gone through everything?
Well, we're definitely more open more often, um, and I really try to pry at them. They both have been in therapy since that happened, so I'm a huge advocate for therapy, and it really helped my son. He was always really good at hiding things, and so he was in therapy for probably close to a year, and it really helped. I can see that it helped, and Chance is actually the one that found Sienna that night, and so that's a lot for anyone to go through, especially you know him, and he was always very protective and things like that. So I know it was hard for him. He actually went to check on her because he didn't hear her for a bit. So even at that young age, I mean, he was, I thinking, something just seems off. So, um, and I think that what I'm doing and being open about it, I think that that helps them. I think they see me being vulnerable, and I, we talk about that. We talk about being vulnerable and and it being okay to just talk about things. And I just want them to know that. I want them to. I want to be an example, a good example for them. I know that in the past it's been hard for men to express their emotion in fear of it being a sign of weakness. So, I mean, I'm quite the opposite of that. I've always expressed emotion and but even more so now. So, just doing what I'm doing and raising awareness. They see that. Isabella got to go with me to one of my public speaking events at a school. So, she got to see that, and she got to see again me crying in front of a bunch of people, and
That's always the most moving thing, though. When you see your dads cry, it's I get sad when my dad cries, but also
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's okay to cry too.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's good for them to see that, and the three of us were really just. I tell them, I'm like, we're just learning life together. Really, I'm 34, but I, I don't ever want to get to the point where I think I know everything. And I tell them that, there's always room to learn, no matter what it is. So just keeping an open mind, and just being able to learn every day is important. So those are the type of the things that we talk about as often as possible.
I love that. Those are great things. Going back to the walk, what inspired you to do the walk? You could have done a bunch of things, but why a walk?
I still don't have an answer for this.
It's okay.
No, I I don't know. I just woke up one day and I thought I wanted to do something. Because I was new here. We had just moved. It's been just over maybe 2.5 years, and maybe been here for a couple months. So I didn't have any friends, and I didn't really know anyone, other than I had family and stuff. But I don't know. I just woke up. I knew that I wanted to do something to raise awareness, and at that time more so just honor Sienna. So I was maybe looking for an outlet, I guess. And I feel like I just started searching for maybe ways to raise awareness. And then it just kind of turned into walking the perimeter. And I just started doing a little bit of research, and I'd seen that a few people had ran it and things like that. So I just asked for some advice on a local hiking page, and it
blew up from there.
it did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and really I was just trying to figure out, where I could stay and things like that, and it turned into just everyone wanting to join. So that was great. I'm so thankful for that, and it just keeps growing larger and larger each year. So.
Yeah, you did the first walk on Oahu, right,
Mhm.
in 2022?
Yes.
And then you went to Maui in the same year.
Yes.
That's a lot of walking.
It was a lot.
But as you said, a lot of people joined you in that
Mhm.
walk. So this year, you partnered with a local nonprofit called Fight Story, right, with Angela Lee. How did this collaboration come together?
So, I think it was when she had announced her retirement, and I had people sending it to me because I didn't know her story. I didn't know Victoria's story. Maybe I had seen something about it, but there's a lot of it, unfortunately, so I see it a lot. And it's actually my girlfriend, I believe. She said, "Did you see that Angela retired, and I said, no, I didn't. So again, at that point, I didn't really know, so I started looking into it, and then I thought, well, I just felt like I should reach out to her, um, and she was actually flying back, and she responded immediately, which goes to show, that she truly cares about what she's doing, and so we set up a meeting, and we talked, and so we had talked for months before this, and then she asked me to speak at her event that they recently had, and every year I raise money for a mental health organization, and I just felt compelled to work with them this year. I believe in what they're doing. I believe in what all mental health organizations are doing. But I just, after talking with her, I could tell that she was, definitely, to me, it felt like she was still struggling with it, and even her own struggles. So I don't know, it felt right, and I asked her if we could work together, and she said, of course. So that's sort of how it come about.
Love that. And you gave me this very beautiful, sorry, wrong camera. You gave me this really beautiful sticker with a butterfly on it, and it says, Sienna Starr, you are loved. I'll put a picture of this after on the screen, but could you tell me about this butterfly?
So it was maybe 2 years ago, I guess. I was doing a little research on butterflies because Sienna loved butterflies, and some people believe that the butterfly represents the soul of a deceased child. So I had always said I would never have tattoos on my neck, but that spoke to me, and I wanted people to see it. I wanted people to ask about it, because I wanted to share Sienna's story. And so after Sienna passed, we would see butterflies all the time, and even my youngest daughter, she would, every time one would fly past, she would say, "That's Sienna." So um, for me, that's a lot of it's tied to Sienna, and and I think it's similar for Angela as well. And she designed those, and so it was just perfect to see that when she gave me those. And so to me, that's what it means to me. Is it just reminds me of Sienna.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful butterfly.
Definitely.
I love that. So going back to the walk, what message do you hope to share with the communities you come across, parents, young people?
There's a lot here.
No worries, take your time.
So I just, it seems to, it changes. I think every time I do the walk, it changes, because originally it was for Sienna. And it will always be for Sienna. But then I start meeting with people and hearing their stories and their loss to suicide. And I've felt the connection that I've made with people, and I've seen how impactful it can be to just be someone that just takes time out of their day to go and just try to spread love and kindness and acceptance. And I've seen how powerful that is, and how powerful it can be. Just having complete strangers reach out to me, or walk with me and just tell me things that they've never told anyone else, struggles that they've had. And so, this year I've had my own struggles, mental health struggles. I've had attempts, and I just think it's powerful to see someone that truly cares. They don't have to know you, but they want you to know that you're loved. And I mean, obviously, I know what it's like to lose someone to suicide, and I don't want anyone to have to go through that. I don't want parents to have to go through that. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. Still struggle with it almost daily. Constant reminders of Sienna and what we once had. And so my real message to people is, just check on people. And we hear that a lot. But for me, and I tell people this on the walks, I'll just text people randomly, people that I haven't talked to in a while, and just tell them that I'm proud of them. And I know that helps them. I mean, they tell me it helps, and I sometimes I'll get those texts too, and I know how uplifting that can be. So I think just being out there and walking and having opportunities like this, even just getting this message out there that you're not alone in this. And kind of like we spoke earlier about, we just see the best of things on social media. And I want to be there to show people that people struggle. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much success you have. We all struggle. We truly do. And that's helped me, seeing other people, it just shows that they're human. So I think when people see me struggling, see me crying, we're all really similar. There's not a lot that divides us truly at the end of the day. So I think the more that we can work together, and just work at being good to one another, I think that can really help. And so I will do this. I will do these walks every year, and just keep trying to bring people together.
Love that. So Chad, tell me, how can people participate in this walk? It's on Friday, May 3rd, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Beginning at Honolulu Zoo at 8 a.m.
Mhm.
maybe.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So I would love to have people out that day if they can make it. I know it's on a Friday. Made it at the zoo because I wanted people to be able to have a place to park and things like that. And last year, well, so May 3rd is Sienna's birthday. So that's why I picked that day to start. And last year, a friend brought some cupcakes and we sang happy birthday to Sienna. So I would love to do that again this year. So if people can come out and be there for that, just to sing happy birthday, and if they want to walk, great. But yeah, they can be there for that. Pretty soon I'll have a website, and people will be able to track where I'm at. There will be a link. So that's kind of what happened last year. They were able to follow along, and people would bring in. It's easiest if they get dropped off. If they want to walk, if someone can drop them off, and that's what most people do. But yeah, I mean, if they want to join, I would love to have as many people as possible. And last year was the first year I didn't have someone walk the entire thing with me. But I had about 2 hours of the entire walk that I was alone. So that just shows, people like being part of it, like being part of that movement, and I'll walk at whatever pace I need to walk at. A lot of times people just want to stop me and talk and don't have time to walk with me, and that's okay. It's not I'm not trying to get it done in a certain amount of time. I'm giving myself for that whole week, to just be there for someone, and just be someone that will listen and won't judge. And so the more people, the better.
Yeah. And you did mention earlier that Angela will be joining you on the walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will she be doing it the whole way too?
No, no,
It's okay.
No, they're really busy, and especially with everything that she has going on. And but I believe they'll be there the first day, her and Bruno. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm again I think that Angela is an amazing person. Just the talks that we've had, sharing our stories, and so this feels right to me. Both Angela and Bruno are just really good people, and I'm really thankful for them. Sorry, I'm going off on this a
No,
little
no,
bit,
no,
but
you're good.
um, it seems to be challenging to find people that want to help others. I know they're out there, but so when you find someone that, especially someone that's lost someone close to them to suicide, and they want to turn that into something good, I I appreciate those people because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to be vulnerable at times. So yeah, I'm thankful for them. So
Yeah. So this walk is not only for Sierra Star now, it's also for Victoria Lee, for both of their lives and those who have been lost to suicide too.
yes,
So I love this. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we end?
um, I think that covers it. I would like to say that I'm thankful for the people here. Um, it's everyone's been so welcoming, and that helps a lot. It helps. When you're being vulnerable with complete strangers, to be met with just love and acceptance. I think for some people it does take a lot to be vulnerable. So when you have all these people that are just so supportive, it just makes me want to do it even more. It makes me want to, save even more people if I can. So I'm so thankful uh, for everyone here. And again, I appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it means a lot.
No, thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your strength because you are saving lives. And even if it may not seem like it in the moment, you are. And I'm so grateful that you were here to talk to us about it.